I apologize, everyone. Welcome to Pretty Sick Lupus Chick. And I am Pretty Sick Lupus Chick, Shamika Marty. And right now, we are just heading everything up, making sure that we worked out all the kinks, technical difficulties. So, I'm black and I'm never on time. So I just got to put that out there. I'm sorry, son. But yes. So right now, we are going to talk about all things lupus for our first episode. We're going to try and make sure that this happens every week. So hello there to everyone that's out there and people that are joining. I'm so excited. Thank you for the support. If you do not know me and this is your first time logging onto my page, of course, in my name, it says Lupus Chick. I not only have lupus, but I have other overlapping autoimmune diseases. And I want to make sure that I start the conversation, get the word out there, educate people. A little bit about myself. I am a wife, mother of 3. I do IT. I do motivational speaking. I show people how to live and survive with an illness. I am originally from the East Coast, New Jersey, Philadelphia area. And I just came to the Bay Area it's been about 5.5 years, and mostly because my doctor said, look, it's cold over here. I think if you move over to warm climates, you will basically probably get better. And because one of my diseases is Raynaud's, it makes your hands get really purple and cold. I don't have that problem anymore. So we are here for that. I have been a lupus survivor for almost 10 years now. My mother had lupus. My grandmother had rheumatoid arthritis. So I've been dealing with sickness my entire life. I had to grow up at a very early age and help take care of people. So that's why I'm such a strong-willed person. And I have a different attitude and appreciation for life because my mother passed away at a very young age, and she showed me what to do to survive. And I feel as though, honestly, that's been my calling aside from everything else that I do, and making sure that I get the energy out there. I show people I'm raw with everything. You will come onto my page, you'll see a needle in my arm. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm showing everyone, like, you may see a pretty picture where I'm on the beach, but you also see the raw stuff where I'm getting abused in my arms with the vampires, the bloodsuckers, taking my blood all the time. So with that, the things that I've learned over the years, I want to make sure that I bring that out there. I already have some guests lined up that want to speak about other autoimmune diseases. If you weren't aware, yesterday was Rare Disease Day. So that was something that, I don't just talk about lupus. What I go through, someone with EDS may be going through, with IBS, interstitial disease, scleroderma. Everybody needs to be heard. Everybody has a story, and that's what my podcast, that's what I'd like for it to be. And there's different aspects of being sick. It affects different parts of your life. And that's why today my first guest is my oldest son, Amaru Davis. You may have seen him. He's, spending some time with me without shooting and being on set and everything. So it's very precious time. But even though I'm sick and he helps take care of his mother, I know what it feels like, but everyone is different in how they view things. So I want to make sure that, everyone always asks me how I'm doing, but no one ever asks my kids, how are you doing? What does it feel like to see your mother going through something? Or when I can't walk, because you guys have seen pictures of my feet, and I'm so glad I don't get a whole bunch of DMs of guys saying, show me some more pictures of your feet. But
what?
Look, I have to keep it, where it's engaged. Okay? But my feet do swell, and I honestly can't walk. They've pushed me in a wheelchair. And when we go to the airport, my feet swell. So I'm always in a wheelchair, or he'll have to carry me upstairs, or my husband carries me upstairs. That doesn't make someone feel great. So we're going to have that conversation. And then, you know what, let you know about, hey, this is something that I've tried. Like every week, I tried different things. I got some herbs, and I'll let you know how that worked out. And if I can share and help save someone else through going through some type of pain, or letting them know this is what you should say to your doctor, I want to make sure that we put that type of stuff out there. So just to give you that little bit of background, and we will have a question and answer session. So if you have any questions, or if you want to say hi, what's up, I will shout you out. Let me know. I can see my sister just joined. Hey, Tiara, showing you some love. And Jen's my other lupus friend. Hey, girl, waving to you. I just can't reach the screen, so otherwise I would like press everything. There you go. That's my technical guy there. He's waving to everybody now. Thank you, Joe. So let's get started with our special guest, Rue Davis. My son is 23 years old and a big actor, production assistant, actor extraordinaire, whatever you want to say. But go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll start grilling you with the heavy questions.
Oh, boy. Like she said, my name is Amaru Davis. Yes, I am an actor and a production assistant on the side. Whatever keeps me full-time in production on set, working as a production assistant. I may not be acting, but it keeps my spirits up. So that's what it's all about for me. Being able to be around doing what I love and being around people who also enjoy doing what I love to do. So, that's me, a little bit about me. And I'm her oldest son.
Yes, and I have a daughter, Alejandra. She is 20, and my youngest son, Antonio, he is 13. So, growing up and seeing not only me, but if you can remember back to my mother, your mom, and your Nana, what are your thoughts about before I got sick? So there was a brief time before I got sick, and just seeing what happened to them. How did you make that feel? What do you remember?
Well, I honestly don't. I remember my mom, your mother, my grandmother, but I don't remember her being sick. I don't know that until, the day that we all went to the hospital to see her. That's all I remember. She was not sick to me. She just, passed away, older person, but as I get older, she passed away from this, learning that and understanding that more. But as for my great grandmother, my Nana, what I had in my head is basically your great grandparents are older, so they're going to be in the hospital and not able to walk. So that's the idea I also had in my head. And my other great grandmother, she was also at a assisted living facility, not because of she was lost in here. But because, she had to get a triple bypass and other things. So my association with great-grandparents has always been that they're going to be in the hospital. And so, my Nana, my mother didn't mention it yet, but I mean, you can mention it because since you no longer, but I never saw her walk. She was always in the bed.
No, when my Nana, when I was born, she was already losing the ability to walk. So my grandmother had severe rheumatoid arthritis, and I didn't really know too much about your great grandmother on your dad's side, so I didn't know she had a triple bypass as well. And my Nana had that too, so she had several heart surgeries. She couldn't feed herself, she couldn't go to the bathroom by herself, so those things had to be done by myself or my mother. But you came around when she was taken out of our house because my mom couldn't take care of her anymore, and in the assisted living facility, and that's when we would visit her. But by the time you were 3, my mother had already had a kidney transplant, so that was the good time. And then the last 2 years of her life were the bad time because the kidney rejected. So that's why you wouldn't remember her being super sick like I would. But just at least seeing your great grandmother never being able to get out of the bed and hold you or walk with you or come with us to a restaurant, as a child, I would think you could notice something like that.
Yeah. I noticed it, but because that's what I grew up with, it was just normal to me. So I never thought about, oh, how come she can't come with us to here? Or how come she can't come with us to here? I thought, it was interesting the time, I don't know, maybe it was like a month or something, but it was around Christmas where she lived with us when we were in Vineland.
And we had the bed in the middle of the living room.
Well, the living room and the other room, the office. Well, what would have been an office. We'd have put a computer in there. But yeah, so it was just normal for me. So I never really thought about it that way.
But when you think about it, what you just said is normal. If you ask other friends of yours, they don't think that is normal because that doesn't happen to other people's families. But as you can see, my family, we're used to sickness. So it's something that it isn't like, oh my God. So I guess I carried that over, even though I grew up not wanting my kids to have to experience that.